I know I'm not alone when I say I spend most of my days and my nights thinking, what am I going to make for dinner? And I used to love making steak, ground beef, and things like that, but I'm really transitioning to make lighter meals for my family. So we are going to be making 3 chicken recipes today. I'm going to be sharing my unstuffed peppers with ground chicken, a lemon garlic chicken with pasta, and then we're also going to make a delicious slow cooker creamy chicken that I'm going to serve over rice. These are so delicious. My family loves them, even my kids. Let's get started. Now, if you don't have a slow cooker that can saute, you're going to want to use your skillet for this step. I'm using my green pan slow cooker and I can saute in there. So I added a little bit of olive oil and then I'm just making sure there's no grossness on my chicken. I don't wash my chicken. We've been fine. I had more OCD washing my chicken and it's splashing all over and cleaning my sink for I'm going to say an hour. So that was just too much for me. And the fact that they say it's safe, it's been safe, we're good. So I'm going to season it and I'm using some paprika, some salt, some pepper. I used kosher salt. For some reason, the camera didn't get that. We're using a little bit of granulated garlic and a little bit of granulated onion. Those are my go-tos for seasoning chicken when I'm making a dish like this. And I'm just going to saute them on both sides and get a nice sear. We're not going to fully cook them, not until we slow cook. So we're just getting a sear on them to get some caramelization and some color, the Maillard reaction. And while those saute on the other side, I'm gonna prep my vegetables. Now you can add more vegetables if you'd like, but I'm keeping this super simple. And my son really loved this recipe with string beans. So stir some string beans in at the end. That actually works really well. Or even some peas. My daughter and my husband don't love peas, so I did not use those, but peas would really work well in this recipe. So I have the celery and onion, and then I'm going to take that chicken out and saute my vegetables in there. Again, you can add other vegetables, you can add carrots, and you can see I kind of chop these pretty fine. What's going to happen is these are going to just really melt into the sauce, and they're going to be kind of almost non-existent. So when you cut things, if you want them to be heartier, you're going to want to do a bigger rough chop, especially with things like potatoes. And if you're using potatoes, I recommend going with a potato that can stand up, which would be like a Yukon or a red potato or any baby potatoes, like new potatoes. When you use something like a russet, it's just going to melt into the sauce. It will make it creamier, but you're not going to have as much of a consistency that stays together because it's just a more starchy potato. Our chicken looks beautiful. I'm going to set that to the side, add a little bit more olive oil, and then saute our vegetables. Again, I'm just using some celery and some onion. You could also add some garlic in here. I'm going to just be a little on the quick side and use a little granulated garlic, and that works really well too. Now, once I have the onion and the celery in there, I'm going to drop the heat because it does stay hot. This is not like a fire where I could just continuously move it up and down, medium, low, high, and things like that. So I do play with the temperature a little bit when needed. So I drop that down. We're just going to saute it until it's nice brown and golden. And then I'm going to add some seasonings because I want those to bloom too. Again, remember we mentioned the garlic. So I'm adding some granulated garlic. I'm adding some dried thyme. And then I also like to add salt and pepper as needed for flavor. So we're going to keep mixing that, let those flavors bloom, and then I'm going to add in some flour. This is going to help thicken it up. We're making a roux without butter. Again, I used some olive oil instead of butter. You could also use butter if you're not watching your saturated fats. I currently am. So this is what I'm using and it works really well. I am using water, but I'm going to be adding in some better than bouillon chicken. So if you wanted, you could use your own homemade broth. I just wanted to use this so I can really tell you guys if it is flavorful with something like that. So whenever I test my recipes, I love to use my own homemade chicken broth, which I always have in the freezer thanks to my super cubes. But when it comes to something simple and easy, I tend to test it with not only my chicken broth, but also something like better than bouillon because I know it's easily accessible. Some people don't make their own homemade chicken broth, and you could also use things like the carton. I know there's 32-ounce cartons as well. But I find that when you're making a quick and easy recipe like this and you just need 1 cup of broth, it's great to have super cubes in the freezer or if you have things like your own homemade broth or a bouillon base, those work as well. So I always test out both of them. And then I like to add in a little bit cream or whole milk usually. And to cut down that fat, I am using 2% milk. And I want to say I was really pleased how it worked. I don't know if it would work for some of my other recipes, but for this, it worked really well. Now, as you can see, I'm adding that better than bouillon. I go with about a teaspoon because we did add 1 cup of water. And then we're going to add our chicken back. And you can see it has that nice flavor that we seared on top. And then when I put them in, I want to make sure that I'm nestling them, but I do also want to make sure, because I'm using my ceramic nonstick slow cooker, that I don't scratch the surface. So be super careful with that. And the chicken did release some juice onto the plate. As you could see, that is flavor. So we're going to pour that right in there as well. We don't want to lose any flavor here. Flavor is what makes the dish delicious. Then I'm going to take a spoon and just ladle, not even ladle because it's not a ladle, so just spoon it, spoon the sauce and the gravy right over that chicken. So this way it has a little bit of flavor. And as you can see, it's bubbling. I still have it on that saute mode. I'm going to turn it on to slow cook, and then it's going to slow cook for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours on low. I don't recommend high usually. I just don't find that it cooks it as well. In my experience, when I've cooked things on high, it have to be something that cooks quickly and can withstand that high heat. And I just find it dries things out, especially like chicken. I don't like dry chicken. And I think that is a big issue with chicken. When you're cooking in the slow cooker, nobody wants dry chicken. Now, I originally wanted this to be slices of chicken, but it was so hard to not shred this chicken. It wanted to shred so bad because we made it in the slow cooker, and naturally you could shred chicken in a slow cooker. It makes beautiful pulled chicken, beautiful pulled pork. It just breaks down all those fibers and makes it so tender. So I did slice it, and I tried so hard. The last one I just gave up and ended up just shredding it. But once I mixed it, it all shredded anyway. It wasn't overcooked. It was super flavorful, and my family really enjoyed this recipe. My son keeps asking for it, so we will keep this in the rotation. It's one of those meals that you don't realize how good it is, and he loved it. I think I might add mushrooms next time. He likes mushrooms. My daughter likes mushrooms, so I'm very lucky with that, and I think it would really work well in this recipe. Play around with it. I hope you guys enjoy this one. One meal my kids constantly ask for is my chicken scampi, and that has a stick of butter in it. This has 1 tablespoon. I hope this is just as good to you guys as it was to them. My kids had seconds. They loved it. What I like to do is I like to dredge the chicken, and I just did a little bit of flour, a little bit of granulated garlic, salt, pepper, and a little bit of oregano. And then I took my cast iron skillet, got it nice and hot, and added a little bit of olive oil. I also added a little bit of olive oil to the top, and that was because I just didn't add enough to the pan. I think about 2 tablespoons of olive oil will be enough to saute all of the chicken, and then we're just going to sear it until it has a nice caramelized outer crust, which is the Maillard reaction again, and that's just building flavor. We're not fully cooking it. It's almost cooked, I want to say about 75% of the way, and then we'll finish it in our pan sauce. Then I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil and then go ahead and cook the rest of the chicken. I had about, I think it was 1.96 pounds, and that is close to 2 pounds. So you can do 1.5 to 2 pounds for this. It is a little snug in the pan when you're first cooking it, but when we're cooking it in the sauce, we can kind of cozy them all up. There's my 1 tablespoon of butter, and then I'm adding another tablespoon of olive oil. So about, I want to say we used probably 4 to 5 tablespoons of olive oil. Then I'm just going to take my butter and just smear it all over the pan and really deglaze it. Then guys, I'm never using this thing again. I said, oh my gosh, I have a garlic press because I was going through my drawers and I don't love it. Nope. I usually get garlic, and some of them are big, some of them are small. This one was huge. And by the time I got everything into the pan, it was just more hassle than it was worth. I'd rather chop it with a knife or put it in my food processor. It just wasn't convenient. It was pretty much a mess. So then I had to end up putting water in the pan before I had to put it in. And I just didn't get that nice caramelized garlic because I was literally fighting with the garlic press right there. And then I added 1 cup of water and then 1 teaspoon of better than bouillon. We're going to add our chicken back into the pan. Now my sauce does not have anything that's thickening it, you would think, but we did cook that chicken in flour. So a little bit of that flour is going to lend itself to our sauce and it's going to thicken and get a little glossy. And we don't want it to thicken too much. So that's why we're not going to add anything to thicken it. And again, this is a lemon garlic chicken. It's kind of, a take on my chicken scampi, and it really worked. It was super delicious, and it had a fraction of the fat because I didn't use a whole stick of butter. And I could have used a whole stick of butter. It would have been delicious, but this was just as good. My kids devoured it, loved it. I'm really happy with this. So what I like to do is add a little bit more seasonings as I taste. So I know I needed a little bit more salt. I needed a little bit more granulated garlic. I will say I find that I love a lot of garlic. Again, this is lemon garlic chicken, so you can add more seasonings. I would like to add a little bit of dried parsley as well because it kind of cooks into the chicken, as you'll see. Once I turn it over, and then we have that parsley that coats the chicken nicely. I do like to finish it with a parsley garnish too, though. Now here comes the lemon flavor. I'm using the juice of 2 lemons, and then I'm also going to garnish with some lemons. I slice them really thin and then just put them on top. Apparently some of them didn't come apart. And then just take those apart and put them onto the chicken, and then a little garnish of parsley, and this is done. Now this is the way I like to serve it usually if I'm doing it for photos or guests. But I'm going to be real, this is not realistic how I serve it for my kids. The way I do that is I will add my pasta to the pot. And then once I'm done adding the pasta, I will reserve that water in case I need it. I did need it today, so I left it to the side. And as you can see, it's not a ton. What I do is I just mix it all together. And I did end up off camera cutting the chicken into bite-sized chunks. My kids just like it better that way. But you could serve it just like this with the tenderloins like that. Or you can chop them up and make it a cohesive meal. One thing I like to serve on the side of this is asparagus. You could also use broccoli, string beans, or any other green vegetable. You could use, an orange vegetable if you want to do baby carrots. Now onto this one, might be my favorite. I love stuffed peppers. It's one of those meals my mom always made, and I really just love stuffed peppers. And I didn't really love chicken as the stuffed pepper. I've always found that beef is just more savory, it's just richer, and it just tastes so good. But this was phenomenal. When I say this was so good, I mean, you guys gotta try it. It was delicious. So what I did is I sautéed my onions first in a little bit of olive oil, and then I chopped my bell peppers. My bell peppers are green. I'm only using green today. I didn't have any other ones, but sometimes I like to add in red, orange, yellow, just makes it really colorful. And then once it's almost al dente, I will take it off the skillet and put it into a Dutch oven. I don't know. I wish my skillet was a little lighter. It's so heavy, and you could see me struggle a little bit putting it into there. And now we have 3 pounds of ground chicken. And you could use ground turkey if you'd prefer. You could even do this with ground beef, but I'm just really trying to reduce our saturated fats. So now while the chicken is getting caramelized on one side and browned, I'm going to open my canned tomatoes. I'm using some tomato puree. You want to make sure there's no flavors added. Sometimes they have some basil in there and things like that. And then I'm going to be using a can of tomatoes that are petite diced. So I like petite diced instead of diced tomatoes. I find that diced tomatoes just are a little bit chewier and a little bit more, if you're thinking of pasta, a little bit al dente. And I just don't like that. These melt right into the sauce. It takes one with like the puree, and it doesn't add too much of a mouthfeel. So when creating this recipe, one thing I feel that really helped it was that I cooked it not only in a skillet, but I also cooked it in the flavors of the onions and the peppers. And then we're adding some granulated garlic, some salt, pepper, and parsley. You can add your preferred seasonings. I need a little bit more granulated garlic, so I'm filling mine up. And sometimes it spills out, but today it didn't. So I just went ahead and added more from my bulk one. And then we're going to just mash that up and really let this brown. We want all the flavors all together. And once it's kind of, fully cooked here, we're going to add it to our big pot with our other ingredients. Now, when I make chicken, it does have a little bit of liquid at the bottom. I'm not adding that. You could add that if you wanted it, but I feel like it just waters down our dish. So I did not add that. I just added the chicken. Now, once the chicken is fully cooked, I give it, I want to say 25 to 30 minutes, and the peppers are really tender, I like to serve it, give it a taste, see if it needs any seasonings. And guys, this was so comforting. I really loved this dish. This is one of my favorite meals, and I was so glad that I can make it with ground chicken. I like to serve it over rice. You can serve it over rice and quinoa, and this is just one of those comfort food meals. And I hope you guys enjoy these recipes. I will see you guys next week with another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and God bless you. Bye, friends.